Welcome to another edition of One Take Only. I'm George Phillips with oilpressure.com. This is my sometimes good friend, John McClellan.
How are you doing?
Oh, God. John, the season's over.
The season's over, and it was, these last 5 weeks, it was kind of difficult, I thought.
Difficult? Why?
And the fact because there was just too much time between races.
I didn't think so. I mean, there was the 3 weeks prior to Pocono, but
Right.
then you had Gateway, right after that, and then there's one break.
Yeah.
And then Watkins Glen.
Well, I guess I was wrong.
You were wrong, as usual. But what did you think about Sunday's race, first of all?
I liked it. Thought it was really good. I was expecting, like you, more out of Ray Hall, but you know, it was great.
Ray Hall, I think, finished 6th on Sunday and 6th in the championship. I don't care for Sonoma. I've made that clear. Do you like it?
No, I don't like it. But you know, as far as those things go, if it was green and all that, a little more wooded out there, maybe. I know it's the vineyards and whatnot, but it would. You know, it's not an attractive looking race on.
You know, it's weird.
The parking lot.
I don't know.
On that turn, that where they come in and turn at the parking lot thing.
Well, that's weird. No, they have tested at Sonoma before in the spring, like in preseason testing, early March. It looks like Ireland.
I know it
in the spring.
Yeah, and that's when they should race.
I mean, it's beautiful. Just just bright green fields, but by the time they get to it in
to get that drought, California summer is very dry.
I keep using I overuse this word, I'll admit, but Dust Bowl. I mean, when they drop a wheel off, I mean, you see just dust going everywhere. It's a narrow track. They don't have the long straightaways for passing zones. I mean, I never cared for the track, just even being on the schedule. I understand that sponsors like going there and whatnot, but I just don't think that it's a suitable place to have your season finale where the championship is decided. Your thoughts?
Where would you think one would be?
Personally, I like being on an oval. If you've got to have it on a road course, I would think Watkins Glen.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But I would like to have it in the season on an oval, because think of those season-ending championship races when they used to race at Texas or Fontana,
right? And Chicago,
Chicagoland. Cart used to finish the season at Laguna Seca. So
I think Chicago would be great. That is a problem of promotion.
Yeah,
that's a great track. There's 30 million people within a 500-mile radius of that.
Yeah, you would think you could get
40,000 people.
40,000 IndyCar fans out of the Chicago area. Well, of course, the same question about Pocono and being so close to the New York and Philadelphia area. So I think you're right. Marketing and promotion. I don't know if that falls on IndyCar shoulders, if that falls at Chicago. That's an ISC track. So does that fall on their shoulders? I don't know.
I tell you what I think about all that. I think that if I were to get an IndyCar race, I have a track and I'm going to bring it to my track, I'm the one that's going to promote it. It's like promoting a concert. I'm booking the act, then I've got to also promote it too.
Yeah.
So I mean, if whoever that idea of going to somebody's track and then having to promote it on top of it, give your series a little promotion. But that guy who brings in that race, they promote it. And I'll tell you who does that too. It's our friend down in Texas. He promotes.
Eddie Gossage.
Eddie Gossage. He promotes the heck out of that stuff.
And
but that is how they do things with that company.
But yeah, because that's SMI track. That's an Bruton Smith. That's an SMI track, just like Sonoma.
Right.
But Chicagoland is ISC,
right,
as well as Phoenix. And if you notice, last 2 years at Phoenix, those stands have been pretty sparse.
Yeah, I know it. That's too bad. That's a great track, and that's not cool.
And Fontana we know what finally drove the series out of Fontana, and you know, that was another ISC track. So, what's the moral of the story? Get on the ball. Get on the ball, ISC.
Right.
But anyway,
why take a race that you're not going to want to promote and make money with?
You got me. But so I think we're both in agreement. The race was a snoozer. I mean, there's no getting around it. It was a yawner.
I won't be rewatching it this winter.
No.
Tell you what, I am going to rewatch. Besides the Indianapolis 500, I'm going to rewatch Barber. It's a great race.
Yeah.
I'm going to rewatch.
Who won?
It was our boy.
Newgarden.
That's right.
You're right.
I'm also going to watch. Detroit bears watching because that was when Ray Hall. You know, he did so well. It's always good to see him win.
If I never have to watch another race from Belle Isle, it'd be just fine.
Well, okay.
Belle Isle and Sonoma are my two least favorite tracks on the schedule.
Well, what about a new track, not next year, but the year after? That is might be. From my sources are telling me that this is going to happen.
You're talking about the Grand Prix of Nashville.
That's right. That'll be fun.
Obviously, just for obvious reasons, I hope it happens because I'd love to have another race here in our hometown of Music City. You know, when Paul Dalby was in town last month, it was at night, but we went around the proposed layout around the stadium, Titan Stadium, and that's narrow. I know you said that they're going to actually take up the sidewalk. Well, that's some cost involved there.
That's some cost involved.
So, but
right?
We'll see. I know they've got some local heavy hitters behind the thing. I know you know a couple of them personally. That's how you got a mosquito.
I know it. It's fighting time.
But
can I say one other thing too about that facility?
Sure.
And this is something that I learned today. They had a big balloon race. A balloon festival. Big, the big balloons with the baskets.
Hot air balloons.
Hot air balloons. Anyway, a friend of mine, well, she had a booth over there, and she was selling in that booth, spices and all these things. She made some money, and she said that was one of the best places to have something like that. She said that it was people were close, and I was like, okay, all right, I see that. That sounds cool.
I'm going to be an open-minded because I do want it to happen, and once it happens, I hope it's successul. But
it's a pretty area.
It's a pretty area
with the football stadium, and you got the river right there.
I agree, but I'm just going to have to see how racy that course is. Okay. But I do hope it happens. I'm with you, and I know you. I like to abuse you at times, but you do have some good friends that are on that the sports council, right. And as you know, there are some heavy hitters on behind it. Some of the people in the country music scene are back.
That's right.
So
it's going to be a festival.
Anyway,
a good one too.
Getting back, not necessarily to Sunday's race because it was a honor, but the after effect being Joseph Newgarden. Speaking of Nashville, Joseph Newgarden winning the championship. Your thoughts?
I think it's terrific. I like that guy. I think he's good for the series. If you want a spokesman who is a winner, to represent the series, I don't care if they're American or if they're from wherever. I want a terrific individual who can speak and just a good guy, overall fan favorite. You can't help but not like this guy.
Yeah, and what you see on camera with him is genuine.
That's
because
right.
I've told the story. You know the story about when I went to go interview him at the Cheesecake Factory.
That was a long time. He was like a kid.
He was
like a baby.
He was, I think,
18,
21.
19?
No, he was like 20. I think he was 20 years old then. That was in 2011, and but there I was with this 20-year-old kid who happened to be, he's about a year. No, I think he's 2 years younger than my own son. But not to say my son is immature, but let's just say that Joseph Newgarden, he came across as a 38-year-old media savvy veteran sitting there at that table. But also just very enthusiastic about racing. We talked Formula One, we talked present day IndyCar from 20 years ago. The kid knew it all. And I say kid, I don't really call him a kid now because he's 26.
Yeah, he's
but
series champion.
He was a 20-year-old then. He was a kid then.
Well, you know, he started out. Of course, it was really cool to watch him go all the way to Penske, which is why I'm wearing Penske today in honor of.
And that's, I mean, I even
Joseph
brought out
Newgarden.
my vintage Penske shirt.
I'm a Newgarden guy, but you know, when he started with Sarah Fisher, that you can't beat that.
No.
She's a terrific person to drive for when you're learning.
And it was good.
Then Ed Carpenter picks him up.
Yep, and it was good to see he and Sarah hug the other day on the stage after he got it. But
he owes, you know, I mean, not that you owe anything, but I mean, there's a major bond there. She was a big part of his career.
She went out on a limb for him. She and Wink Hartman, and you know, he went as far as she could take them. Then the teams merged with Ed Carpenter, and he went about as far as that team could take him.
He did real well too.
Yeah, and we can see the difference this year. I know that he took the engineer with him, but still, he overperformed for that team. He overachieved for Ed Carpenter.
Right.
But good for Joseph. He, like you said, really good guy, perfect spokesman. There are a lot of mosquitoes out here tonight. Perfect spokesperson for not only Penske but for the series, and he was even doing that Sunday when he was celebrating. We just got out of the car and just started talking about how IndyCar. If you're not watching IndyCar, you need to, and that's the kind of enthusiasm and dedication that the series needs. And I'll say this, and this isn't really slamming your guy, Ryan Hunter-Reay. I think this is more of a slam against the series back then. When Ryan Hunter-Reay won the championship in 2012, everybody kept saying he is going to be a great champion, a great spokesperson for the series. He's a bright, young, articulate American. Everybody was so pumped that he was going to be carrying the flag for the series for the whole year. Didn't happen.
You know, is that his fault?
I just said I'm not blaming.
Yeah. Oh no, not blaming him.
That.
Right. Yeah, the series. Yeah, this is something they need to capitalize on.
Yeah,
and not only that too, they've got these great stars. Ryan Hunter-Reay is one of them. I'll tell you what though. Now Marco, boy, I don't know what to think about him.
Hey, Marco had a good day on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
A little overdue.
Yeah.
Marco, did you hear the stat that Sunday was Newgarden's 100th start in the series, and he's winning the championship. Mm-hmm. Sunday was also Marco's 200th start in the series, and he's got 2 wins to show for it.
And you know, he's driving an Andretti machine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what you have to say. That's an Andretti machine, and the Andretti team through the years they've been very strong.
Yep, and he has.
He's had some great cars.
I think it's safe to say that Marco has underperformed. He has been. Let's say he's been a disappointment.
That's right.
And I just wonder, father and son bond notwithstanding, how long does Michael carry him?
No, he carries him, and you know he's always going to be a part of that team. I mean, he's not doing any. He behaves himself.
Yeah. I mean, he's not a disgrace or anything.
No, and
but
you know, the thing about it, when the drivers are out there, you know, you can trust. It seems like you can trust. Trust him not to.
He's not
move
like
over.
He's not like Sato. You know,
No.
But he's going to your team next year. Sato is.
Rahal. Yeah, I think that's great. He was already at Rahal. They already know.
I know.
He almost won the Indianapolis 500 at Rahal. He came close. He was,
J.R. Hildebrand came close.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, so heading into the off season now. There's pretty substantial talk that Mexico City is going to be on the schedule.
Good, that'd be great.
I think I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. That's a market they can capitalize in, and hey, if it brings in money for the series,
that's terrific.
That's great. But it doesn't sound like anything's dropping off, so that'll be 18 races next year.
So we look, okay, that's pretty good.
And then if Nashville comes on board,
be 20 and
it'll be 19. I mean, it'll be 2019 when they come on board, if they come on board, and that'll be 19 races. But now you're kind of getting up to the level where you're stretching the owner's pocketbooks. 19, 20, that's about the max. But then you're still only looking at 6 ovals out of 20. I want more ovals.
I do too.
I don't know that this, except for Gateway, which was great, and obviously the Indianapolis 500. Had a blast at Gateway. But
it was a good race.
Other than those two, oval attendance has been. Iowa had a decent crowd, but Phoenix was empty. Pocono looked empty. I don't know if it was. Pocono looked empty, and who am I forgetting? Texas.
Well, Texas is so big.
Well, Pocono's the same way. I mean, that stand stretches forever.
There were, speaking of all that, there were a lot of empty seats with that other series.
Oh, NASCAR.
Yeah.
I thought you meant car.
No.
Oh.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they had Texas, they had empty seats there, and also at Daytona.
Would you go to a NASCAR race?
I'd go to Bristol.
Yeah. I think NASCAR, I'm not getting into the bashing NASCAR thing, except I think they have created a lot of their own problems. I know, the TV viewers that demographic's changing. People that attend sporting events, that demographic is changing. I understand that. But I also don't think NASCAR has done themselves any favors with all the gimmicks they've introduced over the years. I cannot bring myself to call. I don't even like the idea of the chase, but to call that a playoff,
I know it. That's
absurd.
Also, I never did like the Lucky Dog.
The Lucky Dog, and thank God IndyCar does not do any gimmicks except I think the current
pass.
I don't have a problem with push to pass.
I don't either.
But I have heard rumors that's going away next year.
Oh, is it?
Maybe, I don't know. But no, the two things I've got a problem with, I've gone on record many times, the double points.
I know it, me too. I hate that.
Even at Indianapolis.
Foyt hates it too.
Even at Indianapolis, I don't think any race, we all know Indianapolis is the biggest race on the schedule, but points-wise, I think it should count as much as any of them.
Maybe you can give points to qualification.
No.
That's really cool.
I think that that's the second thing I was going to bring up is the current qualifying format at Indianapolis.
You don't like it?
I hate it. Plus, I think one reason I hate it is because I don't fully understand it, and it's been into effect like 4 years now, and I still don't fully understand it. So go back to the way it was. I don't have a problem with it being a 2-day format. Have pole day on Saturday and bump day on Sunday, and if there are no cars to bump, so be it. But call it bump day and let it go with that.
Ed Carpenter sure does like that format. He does real well with it.
Well, good for him. Anyway, we've been yapping on for a good while now. You got anything?
No, I tell you what. I'm looking forward to next year. I always do, and I'm excited. Maybe Kanaan can bring some performance up to Foyt. That would be great. Finally see,
Not happening.
No, I know. Well, wishful thinking.
I'd love to see it.
I'd
love to see it for Foyt's team, and I'd love to see it for Tony Kanaan.
Yeah.
I wish him the best. Obviously, there was nothing else out there for him. I just can't. I was stunned when I found out that was going to happen, because I've said it before. That's where careers go to die, and I'm afraid that.
Well, Tony Kanaan, his career, it's he's on his last legs anyway.
Well, yeah, just due to his age, but I mean he's still a competitive driver. Don't think for a minute.
Sure.
And I think his dismal results at Ganassi this year were a function of that team and not Tony Kanaan.
And I think that was really crummy to pull him out of the race.
Yeah. But anyway,
Ganassi does that. He's like that.
But anyway.
Okay, one other thing. I think we'll see something this next year. Well, we'll talk about that at the beginning when we do our show.
We still do all-season shows.
That's right.
I mean,
on the next one, we'll come up with some
we'll
more.
We'll have one with fall foliage, and we'll might be wearing sweaters and bundled up out here because we always do these outside.
I think too, though, that it was great to see Joseph Newgarden. 5 races ago, he was behind. Yeah, what was Dixon was flying up there. Boy, it's been
Five,
5 or 6
that was
races.
when he was in his 3 out of 4 win streak.
Ooh, that's right.
So, no, Joseph is,
He's done great all year. I want him to win an Indianapolis 500.
Anyway, got anything else?
No, I don't.
And I don't either. We will do some of these in the off season. I know some people hate these, others love them, so we enjoy doing them.
Yeah, it's fine with me.
And so that's really all that matters.
I like to go drink a cup of coffee in the morning and watch these shows.
Coffee.
Yeah, a cup of coffee.
Not coffee.
No, yeah, I like a good cup of good coffee.
Anyway.
Anybody you want to say hi to out there? You got a mosquito on you. Yeah.
I know. No, hi to everybody. So, anyway, last chance. Anything?
Have a great fall. Hope your football teams do well.
How'd your Chicago
Chicago Bears
do
aren't
lately?
good at all, and right now I'm very disappointed. But my Cubbies just swept the Cardinals.
And we won't talk.
This past
We
weekend.
will not talk about the Tennessee Vols
Yeah,
either.
but
because-
we'll talk about the Memphis Tigers who beat UCLA.
Okay,
That was great.
Okay,
Go Tigers.
Good for them. Anyway, for John McClellan, I am George Phillips with oilpressure.com. Thanks for watching.